put the gun in the car. The gun, she shot her? Let's go right here. She shot her. She shot her. She put the gun in the car. She put the gun in the car. The gun is in the car. Arrest her.
Please stop sharing them poses of my sister, please. Please stop sharing that post of my baby sister on that ground, please. Get y'all, please. For my mama and for me and my siblings' sake. Please, y'all.
Before her name was a hashtag, before her face was on a flyer, before her mother had to bury her, Romeca Meeks-Blackmon was standing in a school drop-off zone, watching her 6-year-old son walk through the doors of his classroom. She didn't know that in less than 30 minutes, she would be on the ground, bleeding, on a sidewalk in Chicago. She didn't know that the last thing she'd ever give her son was a note she tucked into his lunchbox that morning. And she didn't know that someone had already spent months building what looked very much like a paper trail, a legal paper trail, that might make her killing look justified. That's what we're here to talk about today. Because this case isn't just about a shooting. It's about control, jealousy, premeditation, and a legal system that let a woman walk free for 3 months after murdering an unarmed mother in broad daylight. Before we go any further, if you're new here, please subscribe to Psychology of Crime and hit that bell icon right now. We don't just tell you what happened. We ask why. And for cases like Romeca's, that why is what keeps justice alive. Every view, every like, every subscriber tell the algorithm that stories like hers matter. So if you believe Romeca deserves to be heard, hit that button. Let's go. Romeca Meeks-Blackmon was 31 years old and was the kind of woman people describe the same way. No matter who you ask. Her mother, Tina McMiller, said she was kind, sweet, loving, supportive, an amazing mother. Her friends called her the life of the group. Her nickname was Big Meeks, not because she was loud or aggressive, but because she had a big presence. The kind of person who fills a room simply by being in it. She was also in nursing school.
No, yes, no, yes. No, yes. Definitely not. All right, I've made my decision. I'm going, and that's that.
Think about that for a second. A single mother raising a 6-year-old, going to school, trying to build a life. That's not a woman who wakes up looking for trouble. That's a woman with a plan. A future, a reason to get up every single morning. And her son was everything. You can tell everything you need to know about Romeca's relationship with her child from one moment. The morning of September 8th, 2025. Before she drove him to school, she sat down and handed him a note. She packed it in his lunchbox. It said, "Happy Monday, son. Today is a fresh start to this day, and you can start off strong. Always remain yourself. You're the coolest, smartest, and funniest kid I know. I love you so much, and you make me so proud. Have a great day. Mommy loves you." She photographed the note and posted it to her Instagram stories. That was the last thing she ever posted. That note, written for a 6-year-old's lunchbox, became the thing that broke the internet, because it showed you exactly who Romeca was. And it made what happened next almost impossible process. Now, to understand the full picture, you have to understand the man at the center of this. Carlos Smith Sr. He is the father of Romeca's son. He is also the partner of Quadajah Johnson, who will be the one to pull the trigger. Read that again. The man who fathered children with both of these women was present at the scene when one of them killed the other. And witnesses say that after Romeca was shot and collapsing to the ground, Carlos fist-bumped Quadajah Johnson. Let that sit for a moment. Now here's where the psychology of this case gets complicated and deeply disturbing. Romeca and Carlos had a history. There were reports of domestic tension between them, enough that Romeca had obtained a temporary protective order against him. She was protecting herself legally. She was following the system's rules. She was doing everything you're supposed to do. Quadajah Johnson, on the other hand, was doing something different. In December 2024, 9 months before the shooting, Johnson filed a stalking and no-contact order against Romeca. Her claim? That Romeca had been making threats against her and her family, allegedly through third parties. Here's the thing that raised immediate red flags for those following the case. By Johnson's own account, the two women had never actually met in person. They had never been face-to-face. Not once. So think about that from a psychological standpoint. You file a legal order against someone you've never met. You claim this person is a threat to your safety. The order was granted in July 2025, just 2 months before the shooting, but it was never served on Romeca. She may not have even known it existed. Now, I'm not telling you what to conclude from that. I'm asking you to think about it. When you build a legal record claiming someone is dangerous before you've ever even been in the same room as them, what does that look like? What does that feel like to you? To many who followed this case closely, it looked like preparation, like the establishment of a narrative, one that could later be used to say, I was afraid of her. I had a legal reason to be afraid of her. I was defending myself. Because that is exactly what Quadajah Johnson said when police arrived at the scene that morning. I'm licensed to carry. Those 4 words were captured on video. She didn't say she was sorry. She didn't say she was scared. She announced her legal status. And the disturbing part? She was initially released. Without charges. She walked free. For 3 months. Now let's talk about what witnesses say actually happened. Because this is where the self-defense argument starts to collapse under its own weight. According to multiple people at the scene, Romeca was not the aggressor. One witness driving past said that Johnson advanced toward Romeca, not the other way around. A witness at a nearby bus stop reported seeing Carlos swing a car door at Romeca. Then Carlos allegedly grabbed her in a chokehold. When Romeca managed to break free, Johnson went to the car, retrieved a firearm, walked toward Romeca, and opened fire. Multiple shots. Witnesses say she paused after the first shot and then fired again. Romeca was unarmed. She had no weapon. She had just dropped her child off at school. And then, after the shots were fired, according to witnesses, a fist bump. Psychologists who study intimate partner violence and third-party involvement in relationship conflicts will tell you something important. When a new partner enters a situation involving children, the psychological dynamics can become extremely volatile. The presence of a shared child creates what researchers call a permanent tie, a connection that no new relationship can fully sever. That permanence can breed resentment. It can breed obsession. And in the most dangerous cases, it can breed the desire to eliminate the tie entirely. I'm not saying that's what happened here. I'm presenting it as a lens through which to view the behavior we see documented in this case. A legal order filed against someone you've never met. A confrontation in broad daylight near a school. A weapon retrieved from a vehicle. The absence of remorse at the scene. These are not the behaviors of someone acting in panic. They are the behaviors of someone who came prepared. On December 3rd, 2025, nearly 3 full months after Romeca was killed, Quadajah Johnson was arrested at her home in the Plains, Illinois. She was 7 weeks pregnant. She was charged with first-degree murder, plus 5 additional counts. At her detention hearing, when her attorney argued for her release, the judge responded with something that has stayed with people who followed this case. The judge essentially said that celebrating in the street after shooting someone is not self-defense. Bond was denied. She remains in custody. Carlos Smith has spoken publicly and disputed the prosecution's version of events. He has said that what really happened is different from how it's been described, and that his truth will come out.
A lot of information came out in court today. Witnesses saying what they saw, but you were there. What's your reaction to what you heard came out in court today?
When I heard it, I'm just looking, it was unbelievable, but I was there. And I know for a fact none of that happened, how they just explained it. But my truth will get out here, and I hope everybody understand. That's really it. I can't even say too much right now. Because it's just gonna feel like I'm going against them, they going against me, we just going back and forth. But the truth is going to come out.
His attorney has pushed back on how his role has been characterized. As of early 2026, the case is still moving through the courts. No trial date has been set. And meanwhile, Romeca's mother, Tina McMiller, is raising her grandson alone, a boy who turned 7 just days after watching his world shatter. A boy who shut down entirely, who didn't want to be around anyone, who couldn't understand where his mother went, a boy who last heard his mother's voice in the morning, before school, on what should have been an ordinary Monday. In December 2025, a local towing company quietly showed up and dropped off bikes, gifts, and a check for $3,500 to help Tina care for him. Small gestures of humanity in the shadow of something enormous and devastating. Romeca's cousin launched a petition describing her as a victim of domestic violence and mental abuse. The community held a vigil in West Englewood where thousands of pink, white, and silver balloons were released into the sky. Her mother stood in front of a crowd and said, "I am broken. I am so broken." That's where this case lives right now, in between a mother's grief and a courtroom yet to render judgment. But I want to leave you with some questions, because that's what we do here. We don't just consume these stories. We interrogate them. If Quadajah Johnson truly feared Romeca, why approach her? Why advance toward her? Why not drive away? A person in genuine fear uses distance. A person with a plan uses proximity. What does it tell us psychologically about a man who watches the mother of his child get shot and responds with a fist bump? What does that level of detachment say about the environment Romeca was navigating every single day? And what does it tell us about our legal system that a woman can be shot in front of school with witnesses present on camera and the person who pulled the trigger goes home that night? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think happened in those moments before the first shot was fired. I want to know what you think the legal system missed. And I want to know, do you believe this was premeditated? If this story affected you, if you believe Romeca deserved better, if you believe her son deserves to grow up in a world where this story means something, subscribe to Psychology of Crime. Leave a like. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. We cover the cases that demand to be understood, not just watched. Because behind every case like this one is a human being who wrote a note for a lunchbox on a Monday morning and never came home. Rest in power, Romeca.